Hi everybody, Brendan Dennehy here, founder of the Fatherhood program and author of the book Fed, Funded and Ferried, A Father's Guide to Raising Happy Children. I've been asked by members of my community to talk to you today briefly about this concept of confidence. It is of course COVID-19 season and all of us are struggling perhaps a little bit at the moment, whether you're a student or a parent or running your own business or an employee. These are difficult times for us all. So there's a certain kind of comfort in the fact that we're all in this soup together, and so maybe we'll help each other out of it as well. So confidence is quite a nebulous thing. I'm going to walk you through what I believe are the 4 steps that will help us better understand confidence, and in the concept of understanding it, perhaps we'll be able to attain it maybe a little bit easier than heretofore. So confidence. All of us would like to believe that we have a measure of it, and maybe even we'd like to grow what little confidence we have. So growing it really means understanding it, and so confidence is the most wonderful thing, and we'll definitely need it for the next while because people's careers and businesses and students, schooling, all of that has been affected. So it's important, if we can, to remain confident during these times. But if you set out to do or achieve anything, you don't just wake up someday with confidence like something in your back pocket that you can pull out at will. Confidence starts, and the first component of growing your confidence is to commit. Now, if you commit to something, commitment is a very interesting thing. If you're a sports person, you commit to the training, but you've no guarantee you're going to get on the team. If you're a business person, you'll start a business, but is there a guarantee that you're going to, the business is going to succeed? I don't think so, but you commit nonetheless. And so commitment is given to things, to projects and to other people with no guarantee. And if ever there was a time where there are no guarantees, I think it's now. But the important thing is that we have to commit. And when you're committing, it's like getting a map and a compass and heading off into the valley. You have no idea perhaps. You have the map, you have the compass, but you're not sure where you're going to end up. So it's a little bit scary. So, but in the process of committing, and in the process of being uncertain about the outcome, what you're showing there, and in the process of being scared, is that you're showing courage. Now again, we call this model, by the way, the 4 C's. Courage, by the way, is another one of these concepts that's very rarely talked about. And I'll tell you why it's not talked about, because we like to see others behaving courageously, but we don't like to do it ourselves. We all love to stay within our own comfort zone, and we want someone else to do the courageous bit. But courage nonetheless is the sleepless nights, the uncertainty. That's what courage. So it doesn't feel great. Confidence feels great. If I asked you and you were well into your cooking to go and put something together in the kitchen, you'd fly through it. You'd have no difficulty. You'd be comfortable in it because you're confident. If you've never cooked or boiled an egg in your life and I asked you to do the same thing, no, that would take a little bit of courage. So confidence is easy within your own comfort zone. Courage is difficult, and a lot of us are going to be forced by events to step out of our comfort zone. And so courage, it's to understand when you're scared, that's when you're showing courage. But in the process of committing, so you do the training, you may get on the team, you may get in the boat, but you're showing courage because you're going to a period of uncertainty, but you're committed to it nonetheless. Now, for instance, I'm reminded of a gentleman, Tom Moore. He's a former retired British Army captain. Is 100 years of age, I think, at the end of this month, and he's recently come out and raised, I think it's 30 million euros for the National Health Service in the UK. Now, there's a man who's maybe his confidence is maybe on a pretty high state, but the way he raised the money is that he committed to walking around his garden, I believe, 100 times. And in the process of doing that, he committed to it. He was also, by the way, he was born in the time of when the Spanish influenza was around nearly 100 years ago. He survived the Second World War, and he survived COVID-19. He's a recovering patient from that. That man's courage is unquestioned. No, if you asked him, there's no question, but he'd tell you he must have been scared. He must have been scared. But that's courage, and it doesn't feel comfortable. But nonetheless, at 99 years of age, he still has it. So if he has it, you and I can have it too. He's the kind of guy I'd like to be in a foxhole with, because he's scared, but he's still showing courage. And we need that. We actually need that kind of tenacity at the moment. And what's interesting, when you start showing courage, you know what emerges when you show courage? You develop what we call a new capability. So that wonderful gentleman, Tom Moore, has a Twitter account. He's 99 years of age and he has a Twitter account. And he had a GoFundMe page, or somebody organised it for him, but he was open to it. Now remember, we're talking about confidence. So he committed to walking around his garden 100 times. It took a bit of courage because he was just recovering from COVID-19. He developed new capability in terms of going public, going on the press, going on Twitter. And out of that capability, in fact, he's a big fan of the royal family apparently, and he wants to meet them. I can see that happening. But out of that, after that capability, his confidence grew. But he may not have started out with that. I'm sure if at 99 years of age, if you were diagnosed with COVID-19, I'm not sure that I'm not sure how good you'd feel about that. But he obviously had plenty of this. But what he committed to is getting better. So he committed to getting better. That took a bit of courage, which is scary, and nobody thanks you for that. I mean, he's on his own in his hospital bed ultimately. But he developed some new capabilities out of it, and with those new capabilities, with restored health, he decided to raise money for the people who saved his life, and that grew his confidence. And this is like a cycle. The more you commit, the greater the courage you show, the increase in capability, and then that grows your confidence. So isn't it wonderful? And I'm going to, for instance, in my case, I started sending out these videos. I committed to it, even though I wasn't quite sure what I was doing. It took a little bit of courage. I mean, there's people watching this that I know, that I do know, maybe they're judging me, maybe they're not. I don't know. So, you know, all these silly things going on in your head sometimes. But I developed some new capabilities, and then some people give me feedback saying, hey Brendan, we like that. And then that grew my confidence, so I decided to do more of it. So confidence starts with commitment. It's a bit scary sometimes. You find yourself alone. It takes a bit of courage. But when you develop new capability, your confidence will grow as well. And there are many, many examples of this around the place, but I think for the times we're in, this is a very good little pattern to follow. And it also speaks to things like developing a certain mindset and having a growth mindset, looking at the possibilities rather than having a fearful mindset. All of those feed into your confidence as well. I think we admire courage in others, but maybe now for the first time in many of our lives, we need to find it in ourselves. I'm thinking certainly now of leaving certificate students, maybe students in second or third level as well, who are struggling at the moment. This is all new country for them. But the new capabilities that they're learning online now, like they never did before, and maybe that will grow their confidence as well. So there's plenty of examples for this for all of us where we are right now. So I hope you found the video helpful. I'll be coming back to this subject of confidence again and tying in a few other themes, but there's never been a better time to try and maintain and grow our confidence, and so that means we need to commit to something. From that you'll have to develop some courage because you're uncertain of the outcome, and that'll lead to a new capability which in turn grows your confidence. So I'm Brendan from the Fatherhood program. Thank you for watching, and I hope you found it helpful. Stay safe.